Oh, shoot. All right, I'm gonna send you for the book, for the next paper.
Okay, Council President, we're live.
So I call this meeting to order. Please stand for the flag.
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Read the statement of the public comment.
This meeting was called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice about this meeting was sent via email to the Union County Local Source and the Star Ledger on April 9th, 2026. In addition, a copy of the notice was posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building and on the township's website. A copy of the notice is available to the public and is on file in the office of the clerk. Notices on the bulletin board have remained continuously posted. Proper notice having been given, the township clerk shall include this statement in the minutes of this meeting.
At this time, please call the roll.
Bonanno?
Present.
Cook?
Present.
De Silva? Joyner?
Present.
Lofton?
Here.
Purstein? Garrettson?
Here.
You have quorum.
At this time, is there a motion for the minutes?
Motion.
There's been a proper motion and second for the minutes. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Bonanno?
Yes.
Cook?
Abstain.
De Silva? Joyner?
Yes.
Lofton? You should abstain.
Huh?
Abstain. Yes, he wasn't here. Okay, you're welcome. Council President?
Yes.
Carries.
Thank you. And at this time, we have a motion, we have the other item, the reconsideration hearing. If you please read in this request of comment.
Reconsideration of the previously denied application for the person-to-person and place-to-place transfer of plenary retail consumption license 2007-33-10-7 for premises located at 1398 Liberty Avenue, Hillside, New Jersey.
Thank you. And so, Madam Attorney, I know that we want to take the, have the executive session first. Do we want to? Yes, we can take that. Can you please, state what it is for the record so that Madam Clerk can report it?
We are having an executive. Am I on the record?
Yes.
I got it. The ABC Board would like to take an executive session just to discuss the need to take privilege information regarding the reconsideration hearing. And after that, she'll come back to public session.
Is there a motion? Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, so then I'll retire for the executive session. Madam Clerk, you care? Thank you. Go back and vote. Okay. All in favor? Okay, Madam Clerk, we'd like to review. The resolution for the hearing.
Resolution ABC R 2601, resolution. Oh, Council President, point of order. We're going to do the hearing first, not the
Yes.
resolution.
Oh, I said, yes, with, I said resolution, I said reconsideration.
So would you like to have the applicant's attorney come to the microphone?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Madam Attorney.
And before, feel free to present your case, if they have any questions.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Madam Chair, members of the board, Attorney Rosemary Stone Dougherty. Attorney Rosemary Stone Dougherty with the law firm of A.Y. Strauss, here tonight on behalf of Burgos Paradise Restaurant LLC, also known as Carissa Bolton. We're here tonight on a reconsideration of our request for a liquor license transfer for the location located literally catty corner across the street here. As the board, I know there's some new members here, as the board may be aware, we did come in front of the board at the end of last year, and we were denied our request for a liquor license. I requested a motion for reconsideration and submitted a letter to council and to your board secretary for our reasons why we're requesting the motion for reconsideration. But I thought it was best, maybe just to remind the board of what the liquor license request was originally. The zoning board of improvement, the zoning board of adjustment approved our request for a use variance to have the restaurant located catty corner across the street here back on May 16th, 2024, under a unanimous vote of 7-0. At the time, and all of this is in your board member packets, there was conversation raised at the zoning board if the applicant would ever in the future be looking to have a liquor license, and the applicant answered honestly, yes. In the world of restaurants, especially full-service sit-down restaurants, having a liquor license in today's world is a key aspect in being able to bring in patrons and guests and have different types of specials and events. Most commonly, as everybody knows, coming around the corner, and if you don't have it on your calendar, gentlemen, you have Mother's Day coming up. So these are big events that you like to go to a restaurant, that even if it's a breakfast, you can have a mimosa with your breakfast, or you can have some type of beverage.
Just a point of order, if we can have this capped at about 15 minutes tops, 10 to 15-minute presentation, so just give it, that's the time frame, so Madam Clerk, if you could look at the time. Okay.
Understood. So with that being said, we came to the board, we made our presentation, and there was some concern regarding an ordinance that had been passed that limited having a liquor license within 500 feet of the municipal building. So with that being said, during the hearing, we were tasked with going through the municipality and compiling for the municipality and for the board a list of every liquor license currently active within the township, its location, and its proximity to not only a municipal building or park, but to a school, so that the township could see that as of today, every liquor license within the township is located in some space that would be violative of every ordinance restriction that you have under your township and hillside liquor license restrictions and locations as placed. We also provided a copy of the already approved alcohol beverage retainer license clearance certificate, a copy of the approval from New Jersey for the bulk sales notice as well, in support of that request. So we're here for you tonight to ask the board to reconsider its denial. I know at the last hearing, there was some confusion and some concerns about a parking agreement that is not directly related to the liquor license and should not be taken into account in whether to approve the liquor license or not. My client went out and did knock on every single door on Florence as well as on Hillside, and submitted a petition that she received with over 117 signatures in support of the liquor license. We know many of the residents in town have actually had the opportunity now to come and eat at the restaurant. Hopefully some of you have as well, and see how the restaurant is serviced. And again, if you look at the houses that are directly near the restaurant, besides the fact that we are on the commercial corner of Hillside and Liberty, and we have 7-Eleven, Gulf, and Amico. If you look behind us where you have Florence and you have Hillside, which is a major right-of-way, there's only a total of 63 homes, and we have 117 signatures in support of the liquor license. I think that's something that we really hope that, Madam Chair, members of the board, that you look into and you consider in what the residents of Hillside are in support of the liquor license. We hope that this board is in support of granting the liquor license so that we can hopefully have a viable restaurant use. The client has done a tremendous amount of environmental cleanup on the site, improvements to the building, and this would really assist her in having the hopeful livelihood of keeping this restaurant in business for a number of years. I won't go through the previous submissions where we provided the statistics for you of restaurants and how quickly they fail, especially without having a liquor license. So with that being said, I'll cap the presentation. Want to say anything? And my client leaves it in your hand, and we're here to answer the questions.
So at this time, I will defer to my council colleagues. Would anyone like to have any questions for the attorneys regarding this particular matter? Councilman.
That's a quick question. You mentioned that existing liquor stores already near school, that you take into consideration that many of those businesses were there a decade before the ordinance was passed. Secondly, the application says that there's supplemental information about why we should reconsider this. What is that information that changes? They give us a reason that we should waive our own ordinance. What information that felt came up that would make us waive our own ordinance?
Okay, well, to answer your first question out of the two-part questions, yes, I did take into account. And as this board is aware, liquor licenses come up for renewals. They come up with renewals with ability to put restrictions, changes. They can also deny renewals of liquor license applications. So just because a liquor license was initially granted before a school was, let's say, open, doesn't mean that it runs with the land like a zoning variance does, because it comes back to this board for that purview. So this board has had many an opportunity to rein in several of those non-compliant liquor license or put restrictions or limitations on them in regards to that. To answer your second point, as my letter indicated, there were several things that came out in post social media, information about confusion as to what type of establishment this would be compared to a party venue, compared to the type of liquor license we were requesting, which is obviously a different class for the full service restaurant use that has been approved by the board. There was also some confusion when we were here that came out in social media and updates and press releases that were issued in the local paper about whether or not, if the board were to grant this, would that mean that the liquor license would run with the land, and would that allow it to open the door for other types of uses to be used at the establishment, which it would not, affirmatively would not, because any change in use first has to go back to the zoning board, okay, and secondly, would then have to come back to this board to get permission to have a liquor license. And then there was also some confusion. We had a board member who abstained from the vote about whether or not the parking agreement had an impact and should be considered as part of the weight in the board considering whether or not to approve the liquor license transfer. And the answer to that is, from a legal standpoint, no. The parking doesn't matter as far as the liquor license itself goes. You have establishments right here in Hillside that has 0 parking and have liquor license. The issue that the board is to consider for the liquor license is obviously safety and concerns of the residents, and that's what you're charged with, and we understand that. But here, we have a petition with 117 signatures. There seemed to be some confusion at the last meeting that one of the board members wanted my client to bring all the residents to the meeting and have them come speak as well. And, you know, those were things that were not fully understood or aware of. And obviously, we're asking for this board to reconsider. Additionally, the board is aware, and there was added to your packet, that the township council, the township attorney had sent a letter indicating that the township council was actually considering changing the ordinance and eliminating the 500-foot requirement. We included that in our packet as well. It's grounds for the board to consider on our motion for reconsideration.
Can we also just direct the attorney who's present clear that this is not the same board? We are, representing a number of the former board, and this board actually sat since January 15th. So this is, you're referencing many items, you're referencing items that we have not been privy to. You're referencing many things that are not relevant to this particular hearing. So we just really want to stay focused on the questions at hand from the different members who are asking the questions, not referencing. If you could answer the question, because you're giving us a lot of background information, but we're only asking you to please answer the questions that are being presented to you so that we can have a proper reconsideration. Council members, is there anything else you want to clarify with January 15th? This current iteration of the board, ABC sat. So when you reference that, there have been many opportunities before this board has been reconfigured since January 15th. Hold on. Is there anything regarding that? Because I want to move on to the next question.
Nothing further, just to get to building council is aware that this is new, where there are quite a few new members and but whether the action of the prior board is relevant here. It is one board.
Exactly. But there are some things that you did raise that are relevant. So I will see if my colleagues have some other questions, and there is something that I do think would be relevant for the record. But are there other questions from any of my colleagues?
Yes, I have a question, Council President.
Thank you, Councilwoman Banana.
What is the capacity of the hall at Berkeley? I know you're having, you call it an event, what would be the capacity of the number of people that would be allowed into that hall? Okay, well, for correction, we don't call it an event hall. It's a full-service restaurant. It's a sit-down restaurant. And it seats 102 seats. And that's in our original application. And that's also what was approved by the zoning board of adjustment. Okay, so there would be no event. The only events, if you're talking events, as was, and I apologize, and Madam Chair, just so you understand, because it is a motion for reconsideration, I do have to bring up sometimes the past forward, even though not everybody here was on that past forward, since it is a motion to reconsider an action, even though not all the same board members are there for the record. But it is a space that if you wanted to book your mother's birthday party, there is a section of the restaurant that can be reserved and closed off while the rest of the restaurant is still operating. That 102 is part of that, correct? Thank you.
Any additional questions, colleagues? Councilman, okay.
Brother, just to clarify then, is the event area the same hours as the main restaurant area?
Yes, the hours of operation that were stipulated to, just so we're clear for the record, was Monday through Thursday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Okay, Friday and Saturday is 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. and Sunday is noon to 10 p.m. So any private birthday parties, an anniversary dinner, a small get-together, whatever is within the 102 seats while the restaurant is operating, can only happen during those hours.
Can you speak also to the, just to clarify for myself, you mentioned there were 117 signatures and 63 homes behind the venue?
Yes.
Out of the 117, are those from the homes, or they're just townwide people that had signed this petition?
Well, when I counted the list and matched it with the property owners list out of, and when I say 63, I'm counting every house that starts from Liberty all the way back down Hillside, Florence, and then the other side of Florence, you know, and then you hit the commercial or in the back where you run out of homes. So all of those, when you count by lot, there are 63 of them. When you match them with the names on the petition, because some of the signatures and information, I'll be quite frank, it's a little hard to read. I matched up 41 out of the 63. And then the remaining are mostly from the neighboring streets, which is Hiawatha Avenue.
Franklin, Hiawatha.
Thank you, with my geography, thank you. And then there are some that are a little further around, but the owner of the restaurant, my client, literally went door to door to every house on those streets. Because what's the point giving you a petition if 80% of the names are across the town? Correct, correct.
So one of the things you did make a good point when you talked about the environment, would you elaborate on that? Because that's not something I saw as much information on.
Yes.
You talked about the cleanup. So when I was directing you, redirecting you, just make sure you augment some of the things we don't know, because we know what we've read already in the record. But what we don't know is why, you know, for the reconsideration. So we talk a little bit about the environmental cleanup that you were able to do.
Certainly. So as several of you are aware, many years ago, some of you might be too young to remember, there used to be a dry cleaner in that establishment. And because of the dry cleaning business, which is not uncommon in the state of New Jersey, the type of on-site cleaning, because it did not do off-site cleaning, had produced several contaminants that my client had to address and had to work through as part of the purchase and any of the things cleaned on the site. So those were things that we had to work through as well. And were being worked through actually when she got the zoning board of adjustment approvals as well. So that the site could be given clean RAO to operate a restaurant.
I appreciate that answer. And again, I thought that was a good point to raise because it wasn't one that had been discussed much. So it's something that I want to make sure that we have it record. The second question my colleague actually asked, elaborate a little bit, going out to the residents and talking to them to get the support. How many employees and how are you addressing the parking for the employees? And I do know for the opening, there was some valet. So where was the valet directed? Was it in the township? Where was the location on the opening night? Just so that I could have a better understanding, because I'm not sure where the parking was.
Understood. So for that, since my client hired the valet, I would ask her to come up and answer that specifically. So, Ms. Lindsay?
State your name for the record.
I don't want to talk. So we can move to a different question when you're ready to come back, because we do have a little bit of time. So do you want, is there, we give you a second? And we can and so, okay. So
Chair, we just need her to state her name for the record.
please state your name for the record, please. But again, if you want to take a moment so we can finish any questions with your attorney. You got this, so please, okay.
So a lot of the workers, they are from in town.
Okay.
A good eight, I would say 70% of the workers are from in town. So they take the bus, some of them just walk there. That answer your question. Yes.
Specifically for the valet question though, where?
And the valet part. So the valet had actually parked, I think it's a Poison, but there's another building there where they mistakenly parked there. And gladly enough, the gentleman said that we could have stayed there. I didn't walk there. The officer gave me the number. The gentleman said, "No, okay." They were supposed to park where we're supposed to park, which is right by the rec center. It was only like 8 cars. It wasn't a lot of cars. Again, I promised the town that whatever it is, we wouldn't block out the area. So the area was not blocked out. It was just my family that was there for the opening. So that's where they are. Regarding the signatures, I wanted to answer one of the signatures. A lot of the people actually came by the restaurant. They came there, they ate, and then that's how they gave the signatures. Some of them I got the signature.
There was a question about the tax, no, thank you for there was also just a question on the taxes, you know, what the current taxes are. That are
For the real estate property taxes, I do not know what the current taxes are.
maybe follow up and have that information.
You know, obviously with the refurbishing of the building, and now that the building's been issued a CO, I'm sure my client doesn't want to hear it, but normally what happens is an increase in the taxes will
Correct.
be coming. So I'm sure whatever that amount is, it's going to be higher than what she's paying now.
Okay, and we can probably always follow up, and just wondered if you had that on record. Are there any other questions, colleagues? Okay, the last question that I just thought about, so we, was that issue because it didn't come up. Are there any initiatives? I know that there are, you talked about engaging with the community and knocking on doors. Are there any plans for any type of community engagement or any opportunities that the restaurant is looking to do? Has that been a consideration?
I can answer that affirmatively, yes. Ms. Moulton has a whole host of ideas of things that she would like to do and engage with the community. Obviously, you know, she's been very adamant that she wants to hopefully be a very thriving restaurant. And this was for better or for worse, we can't judge her retirement plan. So this is her passion. She's at the restaurant almost every single day from open to close.
Thank you. Seeing no other questions? Okay, so at this time, one of the things, Madam Attorney, if you could just share with the applicant's attorney what our plan is. We do have, just for the record, we do have the police who are also here, who've been able to assess the situation. We've been able to work with them, but we are planning a follow-up, so if you can just share the next steps so that you're aware of what our plan is.
So the board would like to table, and we do have a resolution, whether we like to table and receive some information from the police that they have conducted some investigation and that you have a full record and full understanding for the reconsideration. They would like, sometime not too long, an additional, 2 weeks or whatever, saying like the 28th. Yeah, to reconsider and having, making sure that we have enough opportunity to speak to the police department, iron out any issues. We can speak on the record whether we have any objections to that.
Well, just so I'm clear, when you're saying the board reached out to police and the police reached out to the board.
Yeah, the initial investigation was done prior, as you know, that the police has to provide approval based on the community safety regarding the community.
Right.
So there was outstanding questions that they had, and so those will be addressed on what this board did not have the opportunity to speak with the police department. So they would like that opportunity to do so, to address those things.
And it was very helpful to also have you here today, because for many of us, we haven't actually had it been presented the information from you, also the applicant. Yes, she has presented to a number of the members that have represented the board, but this has given us a fuller understanding of all the complexities, because we obviously did want to push. We know that you've been reaching out to have the meeting, respect that. I want you to know that these members have not, they have stayed on my back to make sure that we're here tonight. So we are committed. We do recognize that it's a community anchor that's really coming into town. So we respect, but we just want to be able to have a respectful process as well, because there are a number of new members, so that we could properly look through the record, get the feedback from the experts in our town. Given we want to also understand the security dynamics that are going to be in play. Actually, I didn't ask that question. You have a moment for that, but we would like to have the police be able to chime in on that matter as well, so we can make an informed decision and get back to you. But we are looking for that 2-week period.
Okay, so just a couple follow-ups if I may. One is the police planning on writing a memo, like often through, or is this just a verbal conversation that's being had at the board?
Any formal memo will of course be shared with you. However, based on the understanding at the moment, it's currently any questions that the board has and that will be asked of the police. So if you want a memo, a formal memo, any determination, you can write that is your right to make a request.
Well, my request would be is obviously if the police are not planning on being here at the next hearing date of April 28th, you know, I would like the opportunity to be able to cross if there was a question or a comment or something that came up with discussions with the police, that might be clarification if we need to have the police present. So I'm just trying to follow up on it.
I mean, the only thing that I really remember from my initial conversation was the security litter, because those are things that come up. We just want to make sure that those particular issues, some of the things you heard from some of the ABC board tonight, but you also addressed an issue that we didn't think about, which I think why I restated and I wanted you to share them. So I think we do have a robust understanding of the matter now, because again, everyone came in at different, moments of this matter. But I think tonight was important, so I do thank you for making sure that we're here, but we wanted to make sure that we properly had all the information. We have received the documentation, as you can see. The questions that were asked of you were very informed, were very engaged. We just want to make sure that we hit all of the dots. But we do want to come back and have, be able to make an informed decision, but it's quick. So we're not looking to make this any longer, but yes, I do believe we have a council meeting that next meeting, which is in 2 weeks, and then so all the full directors will be at that meeting. So they will be present, and we do have the officer in charge, and he can acknowledge. He's nodding, so that he will make sure that the agency representation for someone is present. But as you can see, we're in full support of everyone from our side here, including our business administrator, CFO. Thank you, Mr. Who's also here. So we're all on board to make sure we can have the information we need to have an informed decision and be able to present that to you.
Okay, understood. And you said that, if I heard you right, you had a question on security and litter. Did you want to answer that now, or is that something?
Yeah, I believe that's best, and sure, the second time around, right, because they need the information in order to ask the proper questions and to formulate it properly, so it's good to look backwards if we were to get data from you first and then, so, let the police present with their concerns with regard to safety, and then council have this discussion. We will have an opportunity to speak to, department chairs at the next meeting and then resolve that, but I believe it would be premature to, I don't believe.
That's fine. And I mean, I defer to both of you. You guys are the legal brains and operators, so thank you both, because you both have been, actually, you have been, of course, the applicant and yourself, and our attorney. So thank you guys, for, pulling us through this process. But we do appreciate if you, accept our request.
Understood. So let me just give the two quick answers for you, because I know you guys have a busy night already. So for the litter one, that's obviously the easier answer. As a property owner, my client is charged with maintaining the exterior of the property, or would be subject to violations from code enforcement. Currently, right now, obviously, she tends to come in before most employees. So right now, she's picking up some litter and garbage herself. But as things get more prosperous, she would have the morning employee staff, come out, clean up any debris that would be left outside. It's better to do that in the morning, we find, because one, it's daylight, two, it's safer than having employees out, when the restaurant may close, like we indicated, the hours of operation. Sometimes you're closing at 1 a.m. on a Friday or Saturday. Obviously, if there's any big items that employees see out there, those will be picked up immediately. But as far as a lot cleanup, the schedule right now is every morning when they come in. And since the restaurant is open 7 days a week, it's being cleaned every morning. And when she goes in and out, or staff comes in and out, or management comes in and out, if they see any big garbage, they pick it up. In regards to security, I think that's more of an issue of maybe when last call is. Because unlike an event party hall, you cannot drink all the way up and then take your alcohol outside of the door. Any beverages served must stay within the restaurant. There is no takeout. There's no alcohol that you buy. You can't get it in a to-go cup. You can't take a beer with you for the road. And just like any restaurant, the bartender and staff has to have a last call, so that those people drinking at that point aren't getting more alcohol up to the minute of the restaurant closing. So it's a different type of establishment than the event hall, where you run into some of those issues, with people carrying alcohol home or taking unused beverages home. That is not the case here. All alcohol is accounted for. It's required to be measured and accounted for each and every evening and every morning when they do the counts.
Thank you very much. That concludes our questions for the evening. We do need to.
Motion is taken. Second.
Motion to, point of order, are we tabling both resolutions at this time? So it's resolution ABC R 2601 and ABC R 2602?
Yes. Please call the roll.
Wait, motion was by Cook and second Lofton. Okay. Bonanno?
Yes.
Cook?
Yes.
De Silva?
Yes.
Joyner?
Yes.
Lofton?
Yes.
Vice Chair Fierstein? Chair Garrettson?
Yes, thank you so much for presenting this evening. Thank you to the applicant as well. We do know that this is a stressful situation, but again, I think that people are all committed to working together. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Council, are we prepared for the 30 meeting? Madam President, we prepared?
Just give me one moment to.
We have the
You got it. Council President. No. Council, we didn't actually close the meeting.
Regarding the restaurant? Yeah, comments about that.
For the restaurant?
I'm sorry, should I
Yes.
stand?
Here, I'm saying if you have a question, because we're gonna be moving straight to our council meeting.
Yeah, I have some comments about,
Virgos.
Good evening, council.
Great evening.
Sal Vale, voices from the floors of the voice of the voices. My concern this evening, I'd like to request, and join whoever else says, to revote on reconsideration for the Virgo Paradise Restaurant. Request for a liquor license. My first comment is the day of the public hearing, I wasn't allowed to speak. After holding my hand in the air for 5 minutes, I wasn't allowed to speak. And I think what I had to say is just have a reverence on what the decision was. Okay, the remarks that have been made are different. Oh, okay, my comment is, over the 47 years I've lived in Hillside, there has been several restaurants with food and liquor within a block of her. As a matter of fact, the 7-Eleven used to be a restaurant, and with liquor, I'd go there. The one around the corner, the barber shop, used to be a big fancy Spanish restaurant with liquor and food, and I used to go there. And I asked them, well, why they can do it and not her? They said, oh, they changed the law. Well, they need to change the that because the taxpayers want the restaurant.
Thank you. Any other comment on the ABC Virgos Paradise? Virgo Paradise or Virgos? Virgo.
Virgos.
Virgo. I learned that she's a Virgo.
Good evening, Aldina Mitchell, 1431 Maple Avenue. I don't even know why we're entertaining this again. We know that there are rules right now why we can't have, have a liquor store. It's right across, practically across the street from the municipal building. We had someone else that wanted to put a liquor, they wanted to have a liquor store right across the street where the 7-Eleven is. And we knocked them down for that reason. You could end up with lawsuits because of this. And there's no reason why we should entertain this, because I had someone come into town and when they saw the name up there, they said, oh, what is this, another strip joint? Virgo's Paradise? And the whole thing is, you're just putting another little ribbon that we can't figure out what to do with right across the street from town hall. That needs to be taken into consideration. And this woman told us in the zoning board that no, she wasn't gonna go for a liquor license. And now she's coming back begging for a liquor license. And it's not fair to the town. As it is, they have no place to park. And they're trying to find places to park. They knew that when they bought that property. So I mean, the town, the council can't just bow down and all of a sudden you're gonna change all the rules. And if you change the rules, you could be setting yourself up for a lawsuit. Thank you.
Any other public comments on Virgo's Paradise?
Andy Davis, 1544 Morris, please. Virgo Paradise, comparing it to Blue Ribbon, totally two different places.
Thank you.
Second, you're saying that this is not the same board. No, you're not the same board that was in office as of January the 15th. But I think everybody up here knew about this particular restaurant. If you didn't, I don't, maybe you weren't here, I don't know. But did anyone tell this lady? I don't know, I'm sorry. Did anyone tell her that they weren't issuing, wasn't gonna okay her liquor license? Did she know that beforehand? before she did all of that, construction over there?
Do you have any other questions before we have the attorney respond?
Excuse me?
Do you have any other questions? Before we have the attorney respond?
Okay, repeat the question.
No, she heard it.
Oh.
I said, any other questions before the attorney, or do you have any other questions regarding this?
This is a public comment period. Unfortunately, if you do require answers to certain questions, we can get them for you, but there is no obligation at this moment to answer specific questions
Okay,
right now. But as a resident, if you want those answers in the future, we can certainly.
yes, I do. I want to know if she knew.
At the moment, the board does not have to.
We're not prepared to.
Answer any particular
Okay, you'll get me the answer.
Yes, with you.
One of my second questions is, Alfonso, when that was there, had the ordinance changed? When Alfonso was right around the corner from it?
So we'll find the date and we'll be able to provide that information.
Okay. I think that's, oh, and I've been inside of it. It's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I wanted to ask another question. Did anyone see on the news the incident down at the crab place, not here, at the crab place down Ferry Street, where they have, you could bring your own liquor and they had kids in there drinking? And I think that causes a problem too, when you can't bring your own bottle in, because that's what you'll start getting. You'll start getting teenagers bringing liquor in. And I know I did. When I was young, I had my bottle in my bag. And I know a whole lot of us did. And that's what's gonna happen when you say you can bring your own bottle. Thank you.
15 seconds. Yes.
She would submit those questions in writing.
You can come forward, please. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Bay Farms, the seventh, Hillside Avenue. I just wanted to kind of piggyback on what Andy Davis said. I was there at the lesson, and I'm also a member of the Hillside Senior Center. So to make a comparison with Blue Ribbon, which I had an event there, it was a surprise party. But I understand there's a lot of concern about the bottles, the residents complaining. However, this place that I've been to, on the 29th of March, really nice music, camaraderie, very nice. So I just wish that you guys would consider that. And additionally, there was Alfonso's when I first moved here. I attended that. And they had liquor. I'm not a big drinker, but it is something to think about. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other public comments regarding agency here? Seeing none,
Motion to close public comments.
all in favor? At this time, is there a motion to close?
To adjourn?
Yeah, to close.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? So we're gonna actually pick back up at this point, and move straight to our council agenda. Thank you very much. Thank you, Attorney Barr. We'll give it a second. We'll get everyone to be able to transition to their seats. There have been a couple of documents.
Here, we have one. So that's, because we have this report, it's all right. Okay, if she takes the initiative. Be careful with them.
That's a fine. I'll get it.
Our colleagues from the police department. Oh, hold on. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for all of the agency portion of the meeting tonight. Thank you for allowing the public comments. So we're making sure that we did allow the public comments section. Is that my one? Oh, good.
You gotta print one out?
Bring the boards in, so people can see them. Open the boards, 4x4. No, not the little. They were so good. They are so good. We don't want all of them, just to have a lot. We got, this is a draft flyer for the one town mini story, so if you do look at it, see if there's any comments you want, so that we can have it ready to show before that tomorrow. So the flyer, while we're waiting, if you can take a look, this is the joint effort between Mayor Hyatt, the council, the school board president, the school vice president who was here, I saw her, as well as the school board members. And it's a collaborative effort. So this is the size of the campuses. So we're encouraging this, all of us, whether it's the synagogues we go to, the churches we go to, the businesses that we frequent, the small organizations that we participate in, or our family legacy, streets we live on, things like that. This has been an initiative that we're through. But it's an exciting initiative. One of our residents was able to come up with it. The date will be, again, you can see here, but if you have any feedback on the flyer that's going to circulate, we do ask you to provide that tonight so that we can have this up and running tomorrow. So we may just switch the date and say ready by tomorrow as opposed to tonight, because we just wanted to. It's so much information, so we're trying to do less and more. But we can talk about it on record. Madam Clerk, are you clear?
Just give me one moment, please.
Not a problem. Any other questions? Or if you have questions or comments, the flyer, maybe put them on the back. Share them with me, and we'll do our best to try to make those adjustments tomorrow. Okay. From the original. So this flyer is from, yeah. So this, actually, we have, some of our magazines in the back from the 100th anniversary. So what we did was we were able to update this 113. So that's pretty cool. And then we were founded in 1913, so I thought that was a pretty cool 1913. You know, 113th year.
Ready.
Madam Clerk, we're ready to begin. So, is everybody seated and ready? Is the attorney?
Attorney Caucus can't make it, he was out of town due to death in the family.
Okay, thank you. So at this time, I call this meeting to order. Please stand for the flag salute. Madam Clerk, please read this public statement of notice.
This meeting was called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice of this meeting was sent via email to the Union County local source and a Star Ledger on January 20th, 2026. In addition, copies of the notice were posted on the bulletin board in a municipal building and on the township's website. A copy of the notice is available to the public and is on file in the office of the clerk. Notices on the bulletin board have remained continuously posted. Proper notice having been given, the township clerk shall include this statement in the minutes of the meeting.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Could you please call the roll?
Bonanno?
Present.
Cook?
President.
De Silva? Joyner,
Here.
Lofton,
Here.
Vice President Fierstein.
Here.
Council President Garrettson.
Present.
You have quorum.
Thank you. Councilman De Silva, have me out. I'm gonna have to read the Earth Day ceremonial resolution on behalf of the council. Right behind the page, fourth page.
Evening, everyone. Resolution proclaiming April 22nd, 2026 as Earth Day 2026. Whereas Earth Day is observed each year on April 22nd and stands as the world's largest civic environmental observance, engaging more than 1 billion people across 192 countries in activities dedicated to protecting our planet and promoting environmental awareness, education, and action. Now, whereas Earth Day was first celebrated on April 22nd, 1970, giving rise to the modern environmental movement and leading directly to the creation of the United States Environmental Protection Agency and landmark legislation, including the Clean Air Act and Clean Water Act and the Endangered Species Act. And whereas the 2026 Earth Day theme, Our Power, Our Planet, call on individuals, communities, businesses, and government to unite behind clean, renewable energy and to take bold actions in the transition away from fossil fuel and safeguard the health and prosperity of current and future generations. Now, whereas the Township of Hillside is home to parks, green spaces, and natural resources that enrich the quality of life for all residents, and that depends upon sound environmental stewardship and responsible land and ongoing continued community investment and sustainability. And whereas clean air, clean water, and health environment are fundamental to all well-being of every resident of the Township of Hillside, and the protection of our resources is a shared responsibility of government, businesses, and individuals alike. And whereas the state of New Jersey, through its Green Futures initiatives, clean energy programs, and environmental justice policies, has recognized that urgent need for municipalities to lead by example in reducing pollution, expanding green infrastructure, and protecting vulnerable communities from the disproportionate impact, environmental degradation, and whereas it is fitting and proper that the Township of Hillside join communities across the nation and around the world to commemorate Earth Day 2026, reaffirming our dedication to environmental stewardship and inspiring residents of all ages that take meaningful action on behalf of our shared environment. Now, therefore, be resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Hillside, Union County, New Jersey, as follows. Section 1, the Township Council of the Township of Hillside hereby proclaims Wednesday, April 22, 2026, as Earth Day 2026 in the Township of Hillside, New Jersey. Section 2, the Township of Hillside calls upon all residents, students, businesses, civic organizations, and houses of worship to participate in the Earth Day 2026 by engaging in activities and promote environmental awareness and stewardship, including recycling, tree planting, litter picking, cleanups, earth conservation, and community beautification efforts. Section 3, the Township of Hillside reaffirms its commitment to advancing sustainability practices in municipal operations, supporting green infrastructure investments, promoting energy efficiency, and protecting the natural resources, environment quality of our community for the benefits of our people and future generations.
Thank you so much, Councilman. Thank you so much. We're gonna go to the minutes for the council. Is there a motion?
Second.
There's been a proper motion, second, any questions? Please follow roll.
Banano, abstain.
So she's gotta remove the same.
She can second. You can make the, you can second, you just have to abstain from the approval. Cook,
Yes. I'm sorry, which one?
We are looking at March 1 or 1.
Yes.
Joyner,
Yes.
Lofton,
Yes.
Vice President Fierstein,
Yes.
Council President Garrettson.
Yes.
Carried.
And next we're gonna move to the payment of bills. Councilman Cook.
No question on the bills, motion to pay bills. Motion.
There's been a motion and a second from the chair of the finance committee who has reviewed with the committee. Are there any questions? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Ms. Lofton and Joyner. Cooking Lofton.
Bonanno,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
De Silva,
Yes.
Joyner, Lofton,
Yes.
Vice President Fierstein,
Yes.
Council President Garrettson.
Yes.
Carried.
We're now moving into the ordinance section of the Township of Caucus agenda. Madam Clerk, would you please begin with the first item for the second reading and public hearing.
Ordinance O 2601, an ordinance amending Chapter 291, Section 10, paragraphs A through J, overnight parking of trucks and/or buses prohibited. This was tabled on March 24th, 2026.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Is there a motion to untable item one?
Motion on table.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. At this time, we will open the hearing for the second reading of this particular ordinance. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Madam Clerk, is it ready?
If anybody, this is the public hearing, so
At this time, it's the public hearing on the first item. What is this particular ordinance? Are there any public comments?
Yes.
Okay, welcome. Come on up.
This was staying on the table. No. Thought this was staying table.
Huh?
This was staying table.
I thought you heard it. So this is an error.
This was tabled. This needed to either stay on the table or be voted down. So we're gonna have to vote it down.
So we voted down. This is the issue that this was supposed to be removed. So we don't have the attorney. This is the item that's supposed to be on and was not, it was supposed to be removed from the agenda.
No.
Because we're not ready to.
We're gonna be either on the table or vote it down.
We're not, so if we have someone who take this particular ordinance off, we're gonna leave the table, so we have to go back to look.
just
With the, because there was a motion to hear it again, but take that, they go on the table, and then this table. So this is supposed to be a.
motion by Cook, second by Bonanno.
It's not gonna be heard tonight, so we don't have public comment on the issue. It's, we actually are still investigating.
Just saying, it's my first time here. My name is Deborah Del Chris.
Hi, Deborah.
195 Fitzpatrick Street in Hillside. This is my first time here. I thought this is personal. I don't know. Am I standing up for the right thing?
No.
Not,
Absolutely. I'll come back later.
okay, thank you so much. And we'll make sure that your first experience is the best experience.
Thank you.
We're gonna do that. Yeah, okay. But thank you, but we tabled it because we actually were not ready to hear it. We actually want to do a little bit more research on it and have a little bit more council engagement. But we will, at the end of the meeting, you can have, you can speak at the end.
Oh, that's definitely to hear what I have to talk about.
At the end, public comments.
So, Council President, so the motion to untable was rescinded, so this item remains tabled.
Thank you. So the. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. And I want to thank Councilman Silva, Council Vice President. We have had some intense conversation about this item. A number of the council on Banana. So thank you on that item. So we have now going to move into the item, the second item, President, which is the ordinance amending Chapter 88, Section 1 to change term and start date of term. Is there a motion for the second reading of that particular item?
Opening the public hearing, Council President.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, at this time, Madam Clerk, are there any public comments on item number 2?
Seeing
Seeing
none.
none. Is there a motion to close the public hearing for second reading on item 2? Okay, this is item 3. Thank you. All in favor?
Right.
Thank you, Council. Let's move to the first reading.
No, motion to adopt.
Is there a motion to adopt?
Second.
There's been a proper motion for second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye.
All right.
Thank you so much, Council. We're gonna pick back up. We're gonna now move into the first reading and introduction of the first item listed, which is number 4. Madam Clerk, please read.
An ordinance amending chapter 91, section 3 to change term and start date of term Senior Citizens Advisory Council.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
For the LOR, are we able to do all these together because they're all the same? So the LOR is requesting that we do a roll call by individually.
Yes.
So we're going to have, who was the motion on
It-
3?
It was a motion by Cook, second by Fierstein.
Please call the roll.
Bonanno,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
De Silva, Joyner, Lofton, Vice President Fierstein,
Yeah.
Council President Garrettson. Carried.
The attorney is not here tonight. We do this, but thank you for the LOR for stepping in. We're now gonna go back to over to 02604. There was a motion on the floor.
05.
So we're doing 05.
02605, an ordinance amending chapter 188, section 44, paragraph C, from 20 days to 10 days.
There's a motion.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Well, please call roll, people.
Bonanno,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
De Silva,
Yeah.
Joyner,
Yeah.
Lofton,
Yes.
Vice President Fierstein.
Yeah.
Council President Garrettson.
Yes.
Carried.
To the next item.
Ordinance 02606, an ordinance amending chapter 249, section 13 and 14 to increase the annual fee and penalty for new or used car dealership license.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Are there any questions? Okay, please call the roll.
Bonanno,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
De Silva, Joyner,
Yeah.
Lofton, Vice President Fierstein.
Yeah.
Council President Garrettson.
Yes.
Carried.
Item please.
Ordinance 02607, an ordinance amending chapter 114, section 3 to change term Council of the Arts.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second? 3. Any questions? Please call the roll.
Bonanno,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
De Silva,
Yeah.
Joyner,
Yeah.
Lofton,
Yes.
Vice President Fierstein.
Yeah.
Council President Garrettson.
Yes.
Carried.
Next item, please. Item 8.
Ordinance 02608, an ordinance to abolish swimming pool commission.
Is there a motion? Is there a second? Any questions?
I guess Council President. And tells me exactly what's in the rest of the public.
So we'll defer to our business administrator, Mr. Raoul.
Yes, council, the main is basically is to try to, one, keep the township more efficient, effective, in reference to operating. We have several layers involved. So basically, build this total operation, almost like recreation. Health department creates a much more clean.
Can everyone hear?
No.
I couldn't hear, so I know you're.
Excuse me. So yes, the main recommendation for this change is basically to help the township become more effective and efficient in its operation in reference to running the pool and so this will also allow us to streamline the operations to have a full function and operate better.
Thank you so much, Mr. Diaz. Mr. Diaz, could you explain why this was actually being about? It's not so much about. He's asking why can we do this next year when we have a.
Well, right now, we still have what we consider the spray park and have it hopefully be open. So we're just trying to streamline the whole operation so that the fall recreation guys.
So, Mr. Councilman, this is actually governing something we don't have. We no longer have a pool. So we would have to update what the governing structure looks like. And the governing structure of what the pool was is not in effect today. So this is why we proceeded with this for efficiency and other matters.
Right, it also will help us plan for opening up.
But this is outdated and it's outmoded, so we wanted to make sure that we aligned, especially since we're looking at all the committees at the same time. Mr. LOR or Mr. DA, any other additional comments?
No.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Motion by Bonanno, second by Cook.
Please call the roll.
Bonanno?
Yes.
Cook?
Yes.
De Silva?
Yes.
Joyner?
Yes.
Lofton? President Fierstein?
Yeah.
Council President Garrettson?
Yes.
Carried.
Thank you. We're now moving to the resolutions on the next page, 2 of 3. And we're gonna do a motion for items 1 through 13. Is there a motion for items 1 through 13? Are there any questions?
You have a couple of questions. On a couple of these, do we have on that, since that we have a broker?
Which, was it the first one? Okay.
Have a broker, or just for example, find a broker for the insurance?
Do you want to ask all your questions if the business administrator can address them?
Yeah, I got a bunch of questions. That's one.
Okay.
2, I know we're appointing a planning board and a zoning board attorney, assuming that's for business practice. Is that correct?
Yeah, all of the professionals had expired. So basically, we went out for request for proposal to renew all the professional services.
Mr. Dia, did you, excuse me, did you want to pull number 3 and 4?
3 and 4, we could pull,
Okay.
and then the insurance is the same effect,
Which number?
which was 69.
So we're pulling it?
No, we're not pulling that one. We're only gonna pull the
3 and 4. Okay.
One of the questions I have is on for the engineering.
What number?
So I'm sorry, 073,
Okay. So the next one.
we're hiring for, we're bringing on 4 firms, so we're just putting them on the list so they can work. Same thing with.
List so they can work. So that would be list so they can do work.
Right.
So all of the items that are present, it's not assigning one engineer or one company. So there were all qualifying all of the applicants so that they can select depending on the projects. All right. So that was that particular one. And did the VA address your question for number 1?
I did have one more.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna be a separate resolution. There was one that we were hiring a township engineer.
That was the last one. Third,
That's
That's usually one.
that one is the word.
so the approach that we take, basically, we have several engineers for several projects. There's several items that need to happen that's basically compliant wise, that really is not based on project based. So to have a township engineer, they will answer those general engineering questions, those general compliance issues that we have to go with following with the state on an ongoing basis, stay current and also to comply. So we'll bring on and then they also will serve as an oversight for the other project that we work on with the project as we select projects come aboard.
Now, is he gonna, and I see here there's a salary of 40,000 at the seat. Is that gets paid per up to 40,000?
They get paid up to 40,000. We will work out a contract that will basically allow them to come and serve hours in the office as well as attend these meetings, present anything that council and administration may have in reference around engineering and projects. So that's how that.
Thank you, appreciate it.
What the one other point of clarification on the consent agenda, probably need to vote on the number 12 separate by itself.
I said that.
So why don't, who made the motion for the consent?
It was motion by Bonanno, second by Cook.
You would send that and pull these out. So that we can address it.
I did my motion for consent agenda.
Or council, okay.
Given the new information, are there any other questions? We should have asked before, but are there any other questions on any of the other items for any other council member? Seeing none, so we will first, sorry, Council President. Yes.
Maybe wrong, but I think you should move 12 and 13 individually.
Well, we need, it's financial, it's reference to the budget, so that's mainly for that. The other one is your pleasure.
Okay. So the councilman requested it, so we'll move the rest of the items and then we'll separate 12 and 13. So I will request a consent for items 1 to 5 through 11. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second? Second. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Bonanno,
Yes.
Cook, De Silva,
Yes.
Joyner,
Yes.
Lofton,
Yes.
Council Vice President Feuerstein.
Yes.
Council President Garrettson,
Yes.
carried.
At this time, can I have a motion for 12?
Motion.
Second.
Wait, sorry, just give me one moment. We have to get to that part of the packet. Yes. Council President, just a point of order, that was a motion to create the consent agenda. We need a motion to actually approve the consent agenda.
So we'll proceed. Yes.
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Second.
Bonanno,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
De Silva,
Yes.
Joyner,
Yes.
Lofton.
Yes.
Vice President Feuerstein.
Yes.
Council President Garrettson.
Yes. Is there a motion for item 12?
Motion.
Please call the roll.
Bonanno,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
De Silva,
Yes.
Joyner,
Yes.
Lofton,
Yes.
Vice President Feuerstein.
Yes.
Council President Garrettson,
Yes.
carried.
We're now moving on to number 13.
Motion.
Thank you for the motion in a second. Madam Clerk, any questions, council? If not, please call the roll.
Bonanno,
Yes.
Cook,
Yes.
De Silva,
Abstain?
Joyner,
Yes.
Lofton.
Yes.
Vice President Feuerstein. Council President Garrettson,
Yes.
carried.
Are we gonna take any action on items 4, 3, or 4, or will we go?
Take them off.
Thank you. Just wanted to confirm that. So we have now completed the agenda. At this time, we will open up for public comments. And we'll get our first timer to come up for public comments. Is there a motion?
Motion. Public comment.
And a second? All in favor? Aye. See, I appreciate it. Thank you. Well, now you need to state your name and address and public comment that you have.
Okay,
In the 3 minutes.
understood. I'm Deborah Gilchrist, DEBORAH, I live at 195 Fitzpatrick Street in York.
Welcome.
Okay, so I have been. I'm sorry.
And you're a first timer?
I am. So there's a home at 202 Fitzpatrick Street that was purchased. That was purchased and the owner is renting it out. He has rented the home out on Zillow as a 4-bedroom home. It's a 3-bathroom. And we have, and I'm gonna try to say this because I don't mean any harm behind it, but it has been a migrant shelter that has come into the neighborhood. I have photos, I have everything to provide that I have been giving to a captain or sergeant here in the Hillside Police Department. I've given him all photos every day. And there's vans coming in loads of 4. And it starts at 10 midnight, 10 p.m. to about 3 in the morning. And he's dropping off at least 5 to 6 women. They carry large luggages with children. And they're went into the home. I've never seen them come out since the day they have gone inside. And now, what has happened is there's many things going on now in this home. It's very unfair to me. It's right in front of my home. I have been reporting it. I have come up here. I'm being told to mind my business. And then I'm being told by the police officer, what is your issue? Well, my issues are all of my videos and photos. I have placed 5 cameras on my home, 2 on my roof, 2 on my garage, my driveway doors, and 1 in front of my house. And I have many videos to show that something needs to be done because now whomever is living, the son, he's having vehicles being brought to this home on flatbeds, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, all type of high-end cars. I even saw a blue Ferrari. And what's happening is when he brings them, he comes in, they dump the cars on the block. This young man back them up into the backyard. He pulls a van in front of the driveway and he begins to go inside, lift the hood, and in 10 minutes, one tow truck pickup comes and get it. And all culture races of young men are coming, buying these cars, exchanging money. And then on top of exchanging the money, they're taking the front license plates off of the vehicle and putting it on the back of the vehicle that this young man is selling. I am asking because I have come here numerous of times. I've come here and I've spoken to everyone. I don't want to be told to mind my business because my home is my business.
Time is up.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
We're going to please address this issue.
So the answer is yes. We are gonna document, what you don't know is that at the last, maybe 2 or 3 meetings, this is not a, isolated incident. Yours is definitely, has a lot of additional layers to it. But one of the things that we are, convening, we've been in touch with the business administrator of formulating, actually a documentation for residents to be able to log any of these illegal things happening on our streets. We are looking to actually get a log of all of these properties because who knows best but the residents who live on the street.
Thank you.
So we do ask that in addition to, I know you've been reaching out to the police, but if you could send also, the clerk will get your information and if you could send any of that information, so the council is also aware, we will share that with Madam Mayor, who's president, so thank you. So what we will be doing is we're going to be asking all of our residents to be vigilant and to share, you can be anonymous or like you come out, you don't have to be anonymous, but we are in the process of determining what is the best way to address this because it's happening in many different iterations of this. It has happened with residents that I see that are in the audience now. So some can maybe even talk to you about how they were able to be vigilant. But this is not a matter we're standing down and not doing anything.
Thank you.
So thank you for being here tonight. It is alarming what you're sharing.
It's extreme. It's right now, I live alone. I'm 60 years old.
God
And I
bless you.
should not want to come into my home with fear. I just moved there 6 years ago. And
Well,
it's
welcome
unfair.
to Hillside. We will be in touch and we'll make sure that you can connect. Next, resident, please. Hello.
How's everyone? Very good. That's good. I just want to ask you one, 2 questions. I know somebody already said it again, but I know before, they say don't go back on what happened before. But remember, we had a lot of lawsuits already in the other side. We don't need another lawsuit, with this liquor license. I have no problem with the restaurant. You know, it is a beautiful, we come out beautiful. It is beautiful. That's not the point, the beautiful inside. The point is we don't want a lawsuit. I don't mind us having having the liquor license, but that's not the point of me wanting the liquor license. It's us being sued because of the other people who asked for the liquor license. You know what I mean? And we say no. So we don't need another lawsuit, even though I would love the bar to be there, but that's not the point. My second thing, look, I saw something, last meeting, and I see it again. On our committee, the advisory committee, we didn't understand something that you had on this paper about the 2-year, on here for the advisory committee. So they're a little worried about, what about the people with the 5 year? You're not knocking 5 years down to 2 because we're already at
No,
5.
Councilman, I'm sorry, you have any other question? Thank you, Ms. Collins. So Councilman Cook actually did ask the question last time, so if you are already in a term, your grandfather then, so it's going forward. Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments?
Arthur Caucus, 327 Trinity Place.
Good evening.
Good evening. Maybe somebody can explain to me, why was 2 and 3, or 3 and 4, before my time starts, why was 3 and 4 pulled off the agenda?
What's the
Yeah, we're gonna pull it off and then we'll present to zoning board, planning board, so they can get ratified first.
So my suspicion is, and if I'm still correct, if I kind of remember, the township, and I know we don't have an attorney, but I'll respect the LOR. I'll take his opinion. The boards that you guys approved, the attorneys, and the Thomas board pitched their own attorney, is that correct, from your approval? So how did this get on the agenda? That's what I'm curious. Who put this on the agenda if the board pitched their attorney? And I know for a fact the planning board, I don't know about the zoning board, the planning board did not pick an attorney at their last meeting. So how did this get on the agenda? Where was the disconnect?
I think the intention was to have the administration and the council actually approve the budget so that the particular attorneys or whatever experts could be hired. And those people were approved for that budget. So this measure was really meant to approve budget so that each board can have the budget for hiring attorneys.
Okay, so the board was told at the next meeting to pick their own attorney out of the list that's approved.
That's correct. It'll have to be at the appropriation set by
By those boards. Okay, thank you very much. Just, Mr. Silva, just so you know about the engineer, he's a department head. I'm sure you know something we're going to say. Your engineer is actually, according to your bylaws, is actually a department head.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hovis.
Annie Davis, 1544 Morris Place. First of all, I would like to thank Councilwoman Angela Garrison and George Cook. I invited the council down to walk Morris Place, and they came down Saturday and saw a little bit of what I go through and my neighbors on the block. So I thank you. I had asked, Mr. Feinstein once before, what was the, since this is your district, what is that building on the corner of North Broad Street and Elizabeth, North Broad Street, Hillside Avenue? What else is operated out of that, building other than a realtor, whatever? And you never got that to me with that. I want to know who owned 1541 and 1542 Morris Place. These two houses, like I said, they are one-family homes. That's what they were. And now they're multi-dwellings. These are not Airbnbs. They could say Airbnbs all they want. How many of you have ever stayed at an Airbnb and it was more than you and your family or you and your group? None of you. These are not Airbnbs. They are straight out rooming houses, boarding houses. And they're being kept up just like that. Like those two houses look like they belong in a slum somewhere. And I don't know where, but that's what they look like. Garbage is put out. Sometimes they sit the whole weekend before Tuesday pickup. And it's piled up right on the side of the house. I shouldn't have to look at that. We need to stop selling or letting houses be sold to LLCs. We don't know who the heck they are. They don't want us to know who they are. And we're not trying to find out who they are. But I want to know who owns those two houses, because they need to come out and clean up inside and out. And we need to have these houses turned back into what they were built for and what they were meant for. And that's one family homes with families. Not 20 people. The other night, Monday night, a dog sat for my daughter. The dog was whining. I didn't know what it was. I thought she wanted to go to the bathroom. I did all of that. She actually started barking. When I got up and looked out the window, there was a whole commotion. There was about 10 people outside, 2 cars. I couldn't hear what was going on because I believe they were more in front of Christian's house and Mr. Crawford's house.
And unfortunately, their time is up, but we do have it recorded. We did see that there have been a number of tickets that have been issued. We are currently in the process, and just administrator, you were on that email as well. I believe if you want to comment further. Thank you.
Yeah, we send out code enforcement to investigate your complaint as well as, again, once they got out there, they did notice some irregularity. They started issuing tickets. So they scheduled to come to court, and some fines within the issue as well. And we continuously going out. One of the things that we do need is the code enforcement officer is not allowed to go on private property without prior approval. So we just need to get some prior approval for some of the residents, allow us to go check around the property as well. But it is being investigated.
Thank you. Council Vice President wants to also address your other comment on the North Broad Street.
Yeah, that building that's on the corner, it has multiple businesses inside. There's no one business. The back is the furniture store you see from Route 22, and inside there's like a whole slew of businesses. The whole building was redone to allow a bunch of little businesses to work out of there. So that's that building. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vice President. Hello.
Good evening, council members, council president. My name is Christian Escamero, 1538 Morris Place, and I need to caveat off of what my neighbor did say. That's definitely what's happening, a lot of that. But I would like to include that I did share a dialogue with Councilman Bernstein. I did let him know, I actually do know who are the owners. So I know I said that in previous meetings, probably slipped through the cracks, but it had been communicated, and I know it's just a matter of how people get in communication, on your own accord, provide that. As far as the code enforcement, I do need to address that. I do want to say that code enforcement has been issuing some citations that are, unfortunately for me, because I'm the one that has to waste my time to come to court, it's my property, and it's that there is trash and debris being put. And it's crazy because I have cameras to cover, and I pay landscapers, so I don't know if you got me at the time. I was bad with the back, but I would like to communicate that there has not been any results from other, residents of the 1541, 1542. They're not coming to court. They're not getting stuff. And if there is, I know I have Oprah as well. I wanted to get to know what exactly is the log. It's the pattern that we're missing, because it seems a bit targeted now that you're on my block, well, our block. And seems a bit targeted because I can go around the corner and I can see a plethora of trash and debris and appliances in the front of someone's home. But it seems like my daughter's bench was part of the can't have a bench in front of the home. And so if we're out of date with the codes, I just think that we need to enforce where it matters most, especially because our council members did come to the block. They went out their way, they were all big, and they came. They showed the initiative. I didn't know that was my favorite neighbors, that was reaching out, but I'm glad that you guys did come out because it did make a difference. But this is, from the first incident I just heard, okay, a lot of in and outs, a lot of bans. Yeah, I do want to mention to everybody something that is a concern when you're seeing children. There is actually no law in New Jersey that requires you to register children for school. Yeah. Now, they are required to have an education starting at age 6. But there is nothing that requires you, in the state of New Jersey, to register. Okay, so if you're seeing children, maybe that's where there could be a reach out to the, not code enforcement, it's the truant, if they still are active. But I also know there was some red tape with that too. But thank you for your time.
So the business administrator will address, remember that presenting the what day-to-day is not a council matter. So we do not do day-to-day, we legislate, so we do the local ordinances and laws. Again, that there's a number of challenges on Morris Place, so we are working collaboratively. But I think maybe at the next meeting, maybe the administrator, if you want to address the matter, we need to maybe investigate some of the issues that were raised tonight. Unless you have, I think next time.
No, I mean, the only point basically is, yes, the code enforcement went out there to request by the council, who had went out there. So, was the target? No, it was the response to the complaint from your resident went out. Once they out there, whatever they see, they're gonna write up. So you had something at that time, they're gonna write you up. And so that's basically there. Now, if you want to make a complaint about something around the corner, then, submit it to my office, submit it to code enforcement. They will go there and do whatever. But we're trying to set the tone that we change the trajectory of where we are right now. Okay. The only way to do that is we all chip in, everybody calls out, and we'll get to it at the point in time. Thank you.
Good evening. All right, right here.
Yes. Good evening, good evening.
Your name, please, and your address.
Good evening, council members. My name is Kevin Miller Jr., and I'm born and raised in the Hillside. I currently serve as a teacher in the district, and I've spent the last several years coaching and mentoring the youth in our community, working with athletes from the middle school all the way to the professional level. More importantly, I'm someone who cares about kids in the town. Last Thanksgiving, I organized a food drive right here in the Hillside at the high school that served over 160 families in need. I'm here today representing Project E1, a youth performance camp focused on speed, agility, strength, and mentorship. Our mission is to give every kid, especially those in underserved communities, access to high-level training, structure, and guidance that they otherwise wouldn't have. This isn't just about sports, it's about building discipline, confidence, and creating opportunities for these kids to grow both on and off the field. We've already begun building strong partnerships around this initiative with support from organizations like Dick's Sporting Goods, Chick-fil-A, and the Union Emergency Response Unit. I'm here to ask for your support in helping us open more doors to more kids in Hillside. Whether that's sponsoring a few athletes to attend the camp or connecting with us local professionals and organizations who can, our goal was simple: to make sure no child is left behind because of the lack of access. I've given additional flyers and binders to all of the councilmen with our full itinerary, sponsorships, and insurances. I'd love to connect with anyone interested in supporting this initiative. And thank you guys for your time.
Where's your contact information? Can you provide?
Yes, it's on the flyer at the bottom right side.
All right, thank you very much, and we'll definitely make sure that we circle back and get in touch with you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Are there any other questions or comments this evening?
Good evening, again. 1431 Maple Avenue. Okay, I know that, you answered, a lot of questions were answered in regards to these rooming houses. It's definitely, is it on the books that there's no rooming houses in Hillside? Or do we have rooming houses?
So if you have any other questions, we're gonna get all your
Yeah,
questions.
and then I would hope that, it should be on the books, because we've been going, this is not the first time this has happened. I mean, it's been happening for years now, and it's just getting worse. So that, we need to make, somehow, I don't know how you're gonna do it, but they need to have code enforcement really going around these neighborhoods, because I know in the Munn Avenue area in the 3rd Ward,
when I was campaigning over there, they actually had people living in garages. You know, and the whole thing is, we've got to put a stop to this because it's not fair to the homeowners. And, you know, and I understand people want to rent these houses out so they can keep paying. But we've got to put a stop to this. And, you know, if you've got rules on the books where you can fine people, and I mean serious fine, a whole bunch of money, so that we can stop this, because people keep coming back complaining about this, but it seems like we're doing nothing. And we've got to get something, you know, concrete that's gonna do this.
I'll answer.
Okay.
We are doing something. It's not even doing nothing. You've heard this evening that there are a number of people going out and getting fined. So I think we are gonna wait till the next meeting. I think it's clear because we heard from one of the folks who just spoke that they got tickets. So, and they're going to court. So I think it's probably in our best interest to be clear that we all have heard this topic for the last 3 meetings. Not only did we hear the issue, but we're hearing new streets being added. So I did state that we are going to be also engaging the residents to inform us of the blocks that they're on, to let us know if this is also a more, which I believe it probably is, a more rampant issue, but we are working collaboratively. So we will be providing a report soon, but right now we have to get a handle on how large the issue is. So part of it is help us be vigilant by reporting some of the streets that are on, but thank you.
Yeah, and then another place I know where they have the situation, Boa Place.
So what we're
Yeah,
gonna do is
so
we'll
you
ask
need
you to
to
report
really-
it, but we'll be in touch, or you can be in touch with the clerk, but we'll be having a document to fill out.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other comments? Now, you done come up 2 times, now this is.
That was a different meeting. That was a different meeting.
You got me good. You got me good. So this is the second time, because we wanted to see if anyone else.
I got up for the,
You did, ABC, but did anybody else need to speak this evening? Gentlemen, please come up. We have one other gentleman that did not speak yet. You look like you got a good question tonight.
Yeah, I'm a little confused on that policy. But anyway, my name is Brian Crawford. I live at 1536 Mars Place.
Speak up to the mic.
My name is Brian Crawford. I live at 1536 Mars Place. I'm a little confused with some of your policies, because I hear that y'all come out, y'all look, and it's been going on for years. But yet, I didn't hear nobody say, or give an idea what's the next move. Yeah, he gave some. I got a summons the same day he got one, because his talk blew off his property onto mine, and I was told I had garbage bags in front of my house. So when the summons guy sent me a picture of what he took, it was a talk. He said it was garbage bags. So he just came through and just started writing tickets, not really doing his due diligence. But secondly, in the property across the street of 1541, I go to work early in the morning. Now I'm starting to see big rodent rats, about big as cats.
Right.
And I'm saying it's an issue caused to the garbage. And if you bid wrote something, 1542, I believe, they had a TV in front of the house for a whole year. Nobody came through in a year to write a summons that was a TV on the front lawn. You got to be kidding. Only reason y'all doing something because we said something. And that's something that you supposed to, I know people ride through the neighborhood, but they're not paying attention. And she right. I come up, my wife woke me up out of my sleep on my couch, cause these houses that are made multi-dwellings, the guy pissing on the tree in broad daylight. I couldn't get to my iron pipe enough. He gave me the finger, jumped in the car and took off. I said, what are we doing? Because I'm saying, we're looking at these people, they're pushing shopping carts with laundry. They're pushing shopping carts they done took from one of these shop right or something, they push the grocery all the way to the front door and they shopping cart in front of the lawn. It don't make no sense. I'm saying we got to do something, and we paying taxes, but people buy the house, they can take it and make a multi-dwelling, and they get rich because they ain't got to live in the neighborhood. And that's unfair to us. I mean, if you're gonna do something with the Airbnb, you shut that down, then went to a rooming house. They just went from one phase to another, and now we dealing with it. And it's sad. I've been in Hillside over 20+ years. Now I got to deal with this over the last 3-4 years. It don't make no sense to me. Thank you for your time.
Ms. Sandy, you'll be the last comment.
I said, I just said, I didn't request no presidents. I said, you would be the last.
Yeah, they did, it's 1544 Morris Place. First of all, I'd like to say the street sweeper. They've been doing a fantastic job on Morris Place. And as my neighbor said, that he seemed like we're being targeted, okay? Come on Morris Place, because I want to be comfortable in my home. So and I wanted to ask about the ordinance. I know we had put one on the books for rooming houses, boarding houses. How airtight?
Again, we're talking about the same topic that you've already asked about, and we already shared with you that we do have a process that's in place, so you've got to give us at least to the next week. It might not be the next meeting, but the VA, they're working on it. So we will get back to you. Perhaps we need to have it more fleshed out for the next meeting, because we have, again, additional people, but we're asking, as I shared, we're reaching out and we're doing a committee so that we can reach out to more people in the community, because it's not just Morris Place, although Morris Place is represented. And it's not just, remember, you mentioned that this has been going on for years, but the people who are seated have only been here since January 15th. We're going into 4 months. So we are trying, so we're not going to do everything in 24 hours, but we are being vigilant. Obviously, I've been out there, some of us have been out there, we all have been doing a number of things, but if we keep getting up about the same topic, it's not going to get a different answer. So you just got to give us a moment to be able to address.
Okay, it's not getting up about the same thing.
No, I'm not saying just getting up, I'm saying that we had a number of people from Morris Place tonight, and we have been out to Morris Place. We've been getting, there's the summit that's coming from the administration that's going to Morris Place. We know there are other streets that are also impacted. And what I'm saying is, even if we keep bringing up the same issues, we are tackling it in many different ways. So we want to be given a moment to be able to address the matter, because like you know that I had a personal conversation with you and your husband and the resident, and you know that I stepped to the resident right next door because he was acting inappropriately. But I want to give the administration a moment so that they can also inform the council, because even if you're coming up, we don't have the information, and that's what we need to be able to.
Okay,
That's
I'll give
all.
you a little time.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
And I know you'll be back. Is there a motion to close? Is there a second? Second. All in favor? Are there any comments from council? Seeing none, at this time, is there a motion to close the meeting? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, have a good night. Thank you.
Cooking Lisa. What time is it? 7:39.